Okay, so in this video I'm going to solve various types of equations, including quadratic, rational, and exponential equations. Well, with this first one, this is a quadratic equation. If you were to FOIL this piece out and distribute this and then combine like terms, you'd get a quadratic equation. So you could do it in that way. You could start solving it by FOILing and simplifying. But an easier way to do this would be to notice that x plus 3 is a factor in each of this piece and this piece. So I can factor an x plus 3 out, leaving me with x minus 6 and minus 2. Now these parentheses here aren't really serving any purpose, so I can go ahead and combine all these like terms in here, or this one set of like terms, giving me x minus 8. So now I have a completely factored quadratic equation, and I can use the zero product principle that says that x plus 3 has to equal 0, or x minus 8 has to equal 0. So that means x equals negative 3, or x equals 8. Okay, so this one is a rational equation because it has a fraction here. I'm going to solve this by starting out by doing cross multiplication. So I would multiply this by 1, so it just stays x minus 1. And then I'd multiply this x minus 2 times this x minus 1. Okay, so when you see this here, when you see something that's obviously going to be a quadratic equation, then you know that you're going to need to have it set equal to 0. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract this from both sides. So I'll have 0 here, then x minus 1 times x minus 2 minus x minus 1. Okay, so I should just clean this up. I could do this in two ways. I could FOIL and distribute and then simplify, or I could do the similar thing that I did in the previous example, where I could notice that this x minus 1 is a factor in each this piece and this piece, so I can factor out the x minus 1. So I have 0 is equal to x minus 1 times x minus 3. Okay, which means 0 equals x minus 1, or 0 equals x minus 3. Okay, well if I add 1 over here, I'll get 1 is equal to x, or 3 is equal to x. Now, the one value we are not allowed to use is x cannot equal 2, and since we didn't get 2 for either of these, we're okay. Okay, whenever you're trying to solve an equation with an x and an exponent, you're likely going to need to use a log or a natural log to get it out of there. Okay? In this example, I want to use natural log because my base is e, but before I can do that, I need to get this function e to the 0.06x by itself, so I'm first going to divide by 50. Now you can leave this as a fraction as 6 over 5, but I'm going to go ahead and make it 1.2 since we already have a decimal in our expression anyways. So e to the 0.06x. Okay, and so now what I want to do is pull this out of here and get rid of this e, and I'm going to do that by taking the natural log of each side. The reason this works is the natural log is the inverse of the exponential function. Okay. So I get 0.06x is equal to the natural log of 1.2. Now I want the x to be by itself, so I just need to divide by 0.06. 0.06. So x is equal to the natural log of 1.2 divided by 0.06. Okay, now that is the exact solution. If you wanted to have a rounded solution, you would just do natural log of 1.2 divided by 0.06. So that's approximately equal to 3.038. What was it? 7? Yeah. 87. Okay, so I have an x in my exponent, so I'm going to need to use a log or a natural log. You can actually use either one. I'm going to use the common log because I have this 10 here, and since the common log space is 10, when I take the log of 10, I'll be able to get just 1. So first let's isolate this on the left-hand side by adding 10 to both sides. So I get 3 to the 2x is equal to 10. Okay. Now I want to take the log of both sides. Now the main reason I used log instead of natural log was that the log of 10 is just equal to 1. And the reason I used the log over here is whenever you have the log of something with an exponent, you could bring the exponent down to the front. So this is times log of 3. Okay. So now I'm almost done. I want to get this x by itself, so I'm going to have to divide by 2 and by log of 3. So I just need to divide by 2 log 3. Divide by 2 log 3. So that means x is equal to 1 over 2 log 3. Now that's the exact solution. If you wanted to round it, you would just do 1 divided by 2 times the log of 3. Close your parentheses. 1.048 is approximately equal to 1.048. And that's it.